Hello, everyone. Welcome back for Act 3. We hope you're excited for it and horrified at the prospect of it at the same time. Let's roll back everyone, just everyone. We've got Justin's shoulder there. We've got Steve. We've got everyone back on stream. Alex's cam is doing weird things again.
It always does this. I can fix it. One sec.
Excellent.
It's peril sensitive.
I don't believe you.
We haven't rendered Alex properly.
No, yeah, he is an entirely digital construct. So I'll give a very brief recap of where we are. So we're at Chirikov Station on Gehenna, a horrible hell world, and indeed all hell has broken loose at Chirikov, with a couple of Marines arriving, upsetting the natural yet already tormented order. And by their interference, a number of xenomorphs have been set loose aboard, it's not in space, in Chirikov Station. And a number of people have been killed. Jean, who was a murderer who'd been holed up in the brig, has been set loose by Efim, an adorably deluded machinery crew mechanic. And more stuff than that I have to drop in terms of recap, but we'll get to that in a second. First off, we'll talk about personal agendas and whether they've given you story points or not. So, Dima, were we still running on the standard of you finding out about corruption and like the corrupt samples and stuff like that?
Well, I'd kind of switched to trying to understand what the team were doing at that site, and I don't think I figured that out.
I don't think you did either. So, sorry.
Camping.
Dima just running on no story points here. His ticket is punched. So, there we go. Huang, what about you? Do you think you achieved much of your personal agenda in the last act?
Not really. Mine was to continue to identify risk factors and dodgy goings-on at Chirikov Station.
How's that going?
Going great!
There's definitely been a lot of dodge. But I don't think I've managed to gain anything.
Yeah. You interviewed Efim, which went well.
I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think that story point is yours. Zenofio, how about you?
I'm alive and I still have my job. As far as I'm concerned, this is a massive win.
The consummate bureaucrat.
I think that is literally my two criteria.
What is your actual agenda?
My actual agenda hasn't changed from last round, which is get through the inspection with your job intact, which I believe is true. I think
sure, but it's not just that it happens. The inspection hasn't ended.
That's true. But it's also less likely to end now.
Did you make progress that led to the inspection being completed with full thumbs up for your performance?
I don't need full thumbs up for your performance. I don't intend to get them.
I don't think you did anything there.
I have to say, your continuity planning has not impressed me so far.
How am I supposed to have continuity planning for a frickin' alien?
Well, you need continuity planning for anything.
Look, Huang, there's going to be a very sternly written response to this about you corrupting my staff with stories about spies so that they let free prisoners. So maybe you should watch yourself. Actually,
there's definitely going to be calls about this, guys. Going forward, can we try not to let xenomorphs? Jan, I think you've definitely got a story point from your personal agenda.
I feel like I got out of lockup.
Yep. And Boya, what is the actual wording of your personal agenda on your sheet?
You're muted.
You're not muted.
Oops. I will quickly check.
Top left.
Sorry? Is it on the couch? Yeah. It's just ensure safety of Huang 12. And Huang 12 has nary a scratch upon them. And I have followed them around like a lost puppy. So...
Yeah,
apart from that one time.
Apart from that one time.
Apart from that one time that I was literally unconscious, yes.
But yeah, okay, that's a story point for you. So yeah, that's cool. Does anyone want... Right, you know what? I'm going to give extra recap now, and then you can reset your personal agendas, because Act 3 starts a little under about a week and a half after Act 2 ended.
Whoa!
Shortly after the events on the factory floor, it was concluded by a number of individuals at Chirikov Primarily, it was Yeva suggested it after examining the floor plans. Dima concurred. Zenofia also ended up concurring. And I realize I'm putting things in your characters' things here, but cool. I have to move the story along, damn it. The old outpost was a military outpost when it was first built. And you know what that means? Underneath it, in the around the generator space, is a bunker. And for the last week and a half, with an ever-decreasing amount of rations, everyone has been holed up in that bunker. So our cast list is the players we have. It is Cam Juan, who is the surviving Marine, the one who didn't get gobbled. We have Yeva Tarasova, the medic. We have Guang, the pilot. Efim is still with us. Another machinery crew member, Xiaofan, is with us. And we also have Sonia and Fang from the scientist team. And all these people are holed up in this very, very, it's not a big bunker. It's basically a large open metal space with a generator in the middle of it. Yes.
I'm assuming I'm not in this bunker.
You are not in the bunker.
Sure. As far as everyone knows.
Aware that he is not in the cell.
Effin let him out and said so on screen at the end of that too. So, yeah. Now, there's a number of conditions that I would like you guys to roll on. We're just going to leave this to chance. Right? So, can everyone get 3 stress dice for me and roll those stress dice?
Including me, or...
Can you suffer conditions?
I don't think so.
Then don't bother. It's fine.
But paranoid android? No.
4, 3, 4.
No. I just need to know if you've rolled ones, if you've rolled stress reactions.
0.
Good stuff. Okay. Justin, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the sheets. If you see there, we've got starving, dehydrated, and exhausted. You definitely won't be freezing because you're right by the generator. Can you now roll me a d6 and just assign, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3.
3. So we'll run. So you are dehydrated. Can you check that box and go look at the conditions on the cheat sheet and see what that means?
Yes, boss.
Boya, can you roll twice, please?
Great.
Sorry, it's not having a good day.
I'm rolling 2d6 here, yeah?
Yeah, sure. And just tell me what the separate results were on them.
1 and 4.
Okay, you are starving and dehydrated.
Excellent.
So have a look on the cheat sheet. It's near down the bottom, the conditions, and just apply those, please, to your character. And then can everyone roll 1d6, cut it in half, rounding up, and that's how much your stress level is.
Great. I can't recover stress or damage, and my stress is 3.
My stress is also 3.
3. Got a 5.
Jiang, I don't want you to roll for the conditions, although you might don't worry. But can you if you do the stress roll though as well, please?
I did, and half is I have 2 stress.
Sure, and Huang doesn't get stress, so yes. So you are now on maybe the 8th or 9th day of seclusion in the bunker. You have literally no way of telling anything that's happened outside this bunker. And obviously, your rations are now starting to run out. Everyone is gathered together, talking by the generator for warmth. Obviously, some of you are suffering more than others. Boya seems to have especially been hard on his system, perhaps as an after effect of the paralyzing poison from the xenomorph that struck him. And now you are discussing a proposal. And it's a proposal that Fang, one of the scientists, one not particularly thought of in in a massively positive way by Dima, as sees him as a bit of a workhorse. He's the individual I mentioned, like a guy who maybe looks older than he is, a bit creased and lined with grey hair and glasses. And he's basically, as part of what he brought down here, he has a plan of the station that is printed out, along with some of his science equipment and notes and stuff. So why don't we flash up that floor plan while we're here? And basically, everyone is sat around, and he's just said to everyone he wants to propose something. And you know what? Let's say goodbye to Jian for the moment.
Scum.
So Fang kind of places this on the floor, and with a kind of sigh, kind of smooths out the crease. Obviously, it doesn't look like this. It's like on white paper or blue, and says, "So, I have some knowledge of the pipeline structure that leads in here to Chirikov, and some knowledge of how it runs further up the line. There's very limited control that we have over the pipeline here, the fuel flow, how it's distributed. But there is a way station, a control point further up the pipeline, about 1 kilometer off towards the east. Maybe a bit more than that. I don't know. If we access that, we can flush the pipeline. What that means is we block its further back underground. We block it by the way station. And then it can be voided. We can flush the station with fuel. That fuel, well, these pipelines, they're sealed, vacuum sealed, and they're cooled. What I'm saying is this fuel is extremely... Here on Gehenna, it wants to be on fire. We are in a bunker. The people at the way station, they can be safe. They're further away. I mean, safe is relative, I suppose. But I think we can flood the station with highly dangerous fuel. And then we can... everything can burn. He kind of wraps up the floor plan.
You are proposing the destruction of a substantial company asset.
Maybe so, Miss Huang. And he kind of pushes his glasses. I'm not sure how substantial this station is to the company, if I'm perfectly honest. Some of the machinery may survive the flames. If we're simply flushing through, I'm merely proposing some method of some way around our current impasse. Dima, can you make an observation roll, please?
Certainly. 5. That is 2 successes and no panic.
Yeah. You don't have access to the pipeline schematics. He certainly didn't get them through any method here at Chirikov.
Where did you get those plans?
Does it matter now?
Possibly not, but I would prefer to know where information is coming from.
If we have reason to doubt the providence, we have reason to doubt their accuracy.
Very well, I suppose we have very few options at this point. I received the layout of the pipelines from my contacts in the Azul government.
I see.
Perhaps it could be posited that Mr. Jean killed the wrong individual.
What?
Though I do not think that he killed Diego for that reason. I believe our colleague Efim here was hoodwinked by Jean. But I am an operative for the Azul government, and I've been taking the readings that we are doing scientifically here and passing them on to them. But I do not think that really matters now. Yes, I can be taken back to Bering and court-martialed and shot once we have escaped this situation.
Boria is going to shoot a sort of a darkly smug look at Sanofi and say, "So, how's that review going?"
That's Dima's department. Thank you very much. looking like Sanofi's not a very good mood.
Fang is on the side.
Nothing to do with me.
On the machinery crew.
Not machinery crew, yeah. So currently, looking pretty good, actually. That's not what Zanovia says. Zanovia probably goes expletive. But yeah.
So how do we trigger this? Who does somebody need to get to the way station? Is that what we're saying?
Yes. I would suggest a number of individuals for redundancy.
You got away with words. Okay, so let's say this all works. Let's say we flood the station with fuel, and whoever goes out to do that makes it back into the bunker. Can that even happen? What
They
are
don't
they
need to make it
supposed
back
to
in.
Those individuals do not need to make it back in. They should be, safe from the fuel at the pipeline way station.
Safe from the fuel, yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
the fire will be big enough to attract some kind of attention and get our way out of here a bit earlier. How many?
terms
It's like another week till the transport, getting everyone off the place turns up.
It's about half a week until the transport turns up, but the transport is automated.
Yeah.
So you'd have to leave the bunker and get to the transport anyway.
And
But
the
you are
transport
also, some of you are starving.
Yeah.
You're running out of rations real fast.
is the transport going to show up at the way station then?
No, the transport will show up at the transports actually arrive at another exit to Chirikov, which is in the storage room. Let's bring up the floor plan again.
Well,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, so just to check, so are we running out of rations because there aren't very many rations in the bunker, but there are
Correct.
rations in the station?
There are more rations in the station, yes.
Okay.
So yes, this I always do this. I always gesture at images and then realize no one can see me. But you see, there's a little entrance under where the pipeline is marked.
Yeah.
On
Storage
the,
entrance.
that is a storage entrance, and the automated transports come in through there. It can't be opened by anyone manually. It's just an automated entrance. That is where Huang and Boya and Chang came through on one of those automated transports.
So I think at this point, Borea's the thing that he wants to clean up is, assuming we get to the way station, what does our escape option look like from that point?
You mean the individuals at the way station or the individuals in the bunker?
Well, at the way station for now, I'm assuming the plan is to burn this place with fire, and then whoever is in the bunker can emerge once it's died down and get out that way. But we still need to get out of here. We need to get a long distance away if we're going to get back to the colony.
Well, the automated transport should still arrive in 3-4 days.
And you don't think this fire will destroy
The
these
fire should have
systems?
died out by then, surely.
Okay. I'm just worried about it damaging systems, and
But
it's all automated, so
Officer Kuznetsova makes a good point. Perhaps at the same time, individuals will go into the pipeline waypoint. Others could visit habitation and bring rations back here.
Yeah.
There is a chance, depending on how this creature hunts, that it may not recognize me as a threat, a host, food.
It does seem to be. It has killed, seemingly not for the purpose of either of those things, though.
Yeah, we've
Look
not
what
seen
it
a
did to-
situation where
Look what it did to Kozlov. It didn't eat him. It didn't use him as a host. It just killed him.
Cam, what do you think?
Cam, the remaining SOF Marine, kind of stands to his feet and says, I think whoever's going to that pipeline point is coming with me. Kind of reaches down, grabs his pulse rifle and slings it over his shoulder.
do we know what skills are required to set this off? What needs doing?
Fang kind of pushes his glasses up his nose again and says, I would say anyone with an aptitude for the heavy machinery employed here at the processing plant in Chirikov would be probably a good idea to attend.
And what do we do about Jeanne?
Jan's
Presumably,
either dead or to the wind.
If Jan survived up there for all this time alone, well, I doubt it. We can't factor them into our plans, though we do have to worry that they're still there and they're a danger.
If Jan wants to get off this place, he's going to get off the same way that we are, through the transport.
That's true.
Necessity makes for strange bedfellows. Yes. Cam is sort of, for seemingly the 100th time since he's come into this bunker, double checking his magazines and the action on his rifle, and says, "Well, like I say, I'm going. We drag these things here. I'll take the risk."
Has Cam explained more about what his mission was?
Absolutely nothing.
Great.
And if anyone has tried to get it out of him, he has not been forthcoming.
Okay.
Yeva leans forward and says, "Well, I mean, I'm not arguing myself out of it, but I should probably stay here."
I have some ability to work with heavy machinery. I was once on a machinery crew, and that's how I got to my job. I'm a bit rusty, but I could be helpful.
A small voice from the back of where everyone sat goes, "I'll go.
Whose voice is it?
I'm the best mechanic here now, right? And
Who is it?
It's my fault Jan got out. It's Effin."
Oh, I thought Effin was dead. In my mind, he died immediately after the close of that scene, possibly by me putting a bullet in him. But now that I realise he's not dead, that is true, Effin. You are the best mechanic. Take him.
I would help, but I don't think I'm in much of a position to now.
I can help, but I really need to get some rations or something, because I need water, I need something to eat, or I don't know if I'll make it there.
Fang nods and says, "Well, this seems easily, perhaps, to arrange. I would say that Mr. Cam here goes along with Boria and Efim and can secure some rations on the way. Perhaps someone else comes along to secure some more rations and brings them back to the bunker. And yes, I will be going with you as well. There are door codes, and I have them.
Of course you do. Well, I'm not going to complain.
I thought you were a poor scientist.
Okay.
And
Huang, what?
if I can humbly suggest, Huang's suggestion that perhaps she will not be immediately attacked by the beasts places her as perhaps a prime candidate for recovering the rations with us and then recusing back here to the bunker.
What do you think, Huang?
I would find that agreeable. Especially as for most of the time when I am out of here, I will be alongside you.
I'm happy to go too.
Everyone kind of nods, and it appears it is settled. So the plan is going along the trip to the pipeline. We have Cam, Boya, Fang, and Efim. And then going to recover food, we have Huang and Zenofia. So we have Dima remaining along with Sonia and probably someone else. Yeva, Guang, and God, so many characters. And Shofan, who hasn't really had much chance to do anything in this story. Yeah, does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think before Boya leaves, he's going to turn to Dima and say he's going to take his service pistol out of his holster and sort of hand it grip first to him and say, do you know how to use this?
I have some experience with pistols, not much, but I can get by.
Okay. Well, you saved my ass back out there, so consider this the favor returned.
Good.
So
Look at yourself.
I would point out that Dima does already have a pistol.
Oh, does he? I didn't realize he did. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
I was
didn't
like,
want everyone
scientist, he
to
doesn't have a pistol.
Every one of the team officers in this has been given a.
But is it a better pistol?
It will be. It is a better pistol, yes.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, mine was a laser pointer, essentially.
Well, is anyone no one coming on the trip is unarmed then to the way station?
No, Fang appears to have a pistol on him. Yes,
Because of course he does. Yes.
yes.
What about Ethan?
Efim does not. No.
Frankly, I don't know if I would trust Efim with a pistol, given their nervous disposition.
Sure.
Okay, well,
of the people
say-
going out to get food, Huang is not armed.
That's true. Huang, does your skill set include the use of firearms?
I have had no reason to ever learn to hold or fire a firearm, but
You would
In this
just roll your
circumstance,
agility, by the way, so you don't need.
I would
range
be
combat.
willing to give it a try.
It's simple physics, really.
Yes, point and click.
Good enough for me. All right, I'll hand Huang my service pistol then.
Okay. So the plan, therefore, sorted. Everyone gathers their stuff, girds their loins, and with a creak and a crash, the bunker doors roll open, and the noise kind of reverberates. You feel like the central generator tower of Chirikov kind of rattles slightly in its foundations. And ahead of you is just a set of shallow stairs that leads up to that large ruined outpost area, where presumably we are going out and attempting to stay quiet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sad about how loud that door was. I think
No, I
Boya,
should really have oiled that
Boya
thing.
winces very visibly when it opens.
Sure. Let's remove Dima for now. So, who among us has the highest mobility pool?
Not me.
Let's do that. So just shout out what your number is. 4, 5, 3. Okay, definitely Huang. So Huang, can you roll mobility for me, please? And can you add 1 die each for the other 2 players? Just as a
Yes,
as a
1,
helper.
2, So my ability is just my agility, basically. I don't have any specific skills in it, so I'm rolling a total of 7 dice.
What?
That is pretty great.
5.
Synthetics get huge attributes.
So
And
the
I get
pistol
1
is a good
success.
idea.
Okay, that's fine. So the group of you, I think there's 6 of you, creep up the shallow stairs fairly quietly and start making your way, I believe, across to habitation, when the idea is you eat some rations and then split off. And you creep through the corridors of habitation and kind of round onto what the room that passes for that dining room, right? Which is like an open chamber with kind of like lockers that have various rations and supplies on them. As you do so, you kind of round a corner and find like essentially like the tables and chairs have been kind of like pushed back a bit, and along the floor are a load of ration wrappers just like scattered all along the floor, and kind of next to the doorway you see a kind of black skeletal biomechanical arm kind of like hanging out of the doorway on the floor, kind of like in a rictus claw. And as you round fully, you see that one of the awful xenomorph creatures is kind of like splayed out by the door, with the head mostly severed off and just kind of like hanging free on the ground. And in the mess hall area is Jan, sat with his feet up on a table, eating a ration bar.
I look over.
So you got one of them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
2, eh? Two notches for the bedpost
Mm.
or something.
You're a loud one, aren't you, Zenobia? But yeah, I've been staying okay. I assumed you'd left.
Ow. We're both getting out of here the same way.
Yeah, I suppose.
How many more of them are there?
You have no idea. More
I'll
than
be
one.
honest.
More than one.
I have not been counting, but yes, there were multiple.
Wang, you don't have any directives to see that Jian is escorted into the custody of Bering's judicial services, do you? That's not part of your directive, is it?
It's definitely not.
No, although I may like him to testify about the corruption in the station.
Well, there is no
assume-
corruption in the station, and it's very likely not to be a station by the time that we finish this anyway.
You have an
So
Azul
that's-
spy, but
I mean, that's not
Go on.
corruption. But sure.
well,
Oh,
Jian, I have no problem with you. I've heard things since that make me think that you had your reasons for whatever you did, even if your methods were brutal.
corruption cannot be tolerated.
At
Quite.
this point, I don't care about politics. We just need to get out of here. We'll worry about the affairs
look
of
like you're in need of
civilization
some-
later.
Rations.
That's what we came here to do. Well, one of the things we came here to do.
I pick up one of my rations and I throw it over.
I catch it, hopefully. Otherwise, I look a bit silly.
Yeah, anyone with starvation or dehydration can feel free to remove their things as they eat from what's left.
I want to be clear. I'm not going back in a cage.
I think that's reasonable. Anything else you want to be clear
I'm
about?
glad. Nope. I put my hands in my pockets.
I want to be clear about something too. I don't want to die.
Mm. I growl.
Is that something that you can accept and tolerate, at least until we get off this place?
We all die some days enough, yeah.
Like, I don't think Zenofia's gonna fucking pull a fucking gun. I'm like, I'm not messing with you, Gian. I didn't do anything to get you into the position that you're in. And I don't expect you to hold any kind of grudge against me. I have a job here.
Little lady, I'm not a threat. Don't worry.
Putting the gun away.
Okay.
Look, this can all wait. We're wasting time, and there are things
right.
out there.
You're
Let's
right,
go.
Warrior.
Pause up just a second there. I just want to have a quick. Which NPCs are with you now? FM, Fang,
Cam?
Cam. Right. Yeah. So that's
Effin Fam Kang.
yeah. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm just making some dice rolls. There's nothing to worry about.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fine.
sure,
I'll
it's
just get
fine.
the initiative order potentially lined up in case we need it.
It's only ever good things happen when Matt rolls dice.
Some paranoia here.
It wouldn't be
Paranoia
a,
if they're out to get you.
it wouldn't be a map run game unless my character gets royally fecked.
Yeah, about that.
Oh, no.
It's something of a
About that.
tradition that we haven't had that's not even
So-
appeared on Telling Tales yet.
Yeah. So, how do we do this? I'm going to just following the rules here. Well, first off, I think it's fair to give you an opposed roll to what I'm doing.
Cool.
Before something else happens. So why don't you give me an observation roll?
I roll 1 success, and I probably wouldn't push it because my character isn't actively observing.
Sure. That's very respectable role playing. I'm going to make another roll now. Before I do, Zenofia doesn't have any armor, does she?
Don't believe so.
No.
Zenofia's character arc is now pretty good.
It's good that you think that.
Yeah.
There's
Only
obviously a
character that's
tension in
gonna
the
die
room.
today.
There's obviously a tension in the room from Jian, like kind of this standoff between Jian and Zenofia. And Jian stands down. Zenofia slings. Can you remember what the last thing you said was?
I holster my pistol, so
Yeah.
I might
Did
have
you-
my hand
did
on
you-
it still.
What would you say immediately after you do that?
What do you one of my last words?
What do you say immediately after you do that?
Well, probably something like, "Good, we're in agreement then."
Zenofia's skull erupts in a storm of flesh, bone, and blood, and her body crashes to the ground. Behind her, bursting through one of the windows into this dining area, is one of the xenomorphs. Its claws latched onto the kind of the frame of the window. Its tail sort of whipping in the air with grim glee at what it's just done. John, I believe we have an image called Xenomorph. And let's pop it up. Not because it particularly looks like this, but because, hey, let's have a picture of the thing that's done the thing.
Absolutely classic.
That is how
Gonna be an
brutal
image
this
move.
game is, folks. That was a sneak attack, and all I need to do is roll a 6 on an attack roll. And it's all fucked. We were going to do a thing where we switch characters, where we were going to do it between acts. I feel like we're right at the beginning of Act 3. Justin, I'm going to take you off screen for a little bit.
Yeah, no
And
worries.
why don't you take a look through the cast list, and you tell me which character you want to take. I've got sheets for them all. So
I bet I'm the only character that dies. Absolutely classic.
characters for days, mate. So why don't you go have a look at the cast list and
Cool.
write in the private chat who you want to take up? Yep. Cool. What is everyone going to do? So Well, we need initiative, right? We need initiative order. So, John. You've already done this. Wonderful.
Wait, is it just done its first action? Or is that just...
Yeah, I will absolutely count that as its first action.
Okay, I was going to say.
Perfectly reasonable. But I would also say I definitely think everyone's stress goes up by 1 from that.
Yeah.
Pretty stressful.
Xenofia's face just exploded. So, yes. Let's go Boria.
Right. Boria has been surprised once and not been able to actually return fire, and he's just so done at this point. So he's just gonna wheel around and just he's gonna let loose. I think probably the fear will probably screw up his trigger control, so he'll probably full auto it. But
full auto it, absolutely. Go ahead and do that. Have you got the rule for full auto there? Because I don't think I cheat sheeted those.
Ooh, no.
Just Google, just Control F full auto in the core, and you should be fine. It does immediately ratchet up your stress by 1, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it immediately does it or comes afterwards. I'll just have a look in the panic section and see what it says. Firing a burst of full auto fire. So you know what? When you hit the trigger, that's not going to be the stress. The stress is the noise and the physical hit of doing it, right? So I think that stress is going to come at the end of the fire.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You know what? If you prefer it, take it first. I'll leave it up to you. Because it gives you 1 more die, but also another chance to panic, right?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll take it at the start. I can't actually... There's a lot of mention of full auto in this book, so I'm struggling to find the actual mechanic. Oh, wait, there we go. I found it. You get +2 modification on your roll. Your stress level immediately increases by 1.
Okay.
Add the stress die to your roll for the full auto burst.
There we go. There's the answer.
You can distribute any additional... Is that story points? No, something
damage,
you roll.
I would imagine.
Oh, probably damage, yeah. Okay, I'll just get to rolling then.
Yeah, I think the idea is you can distribute damage among multiple targets, which doesn't matter for this, but it does give you +2. Technically +3 dice, because it adds another stress die. Right?
I'm straight to 5 stress, so this is literally very dicey.
Sure. So you get you get your base dice for your ranged combat attack. Then you get another 2 base dice for the modification, and then you get your stress dice on top of it. So you're rolling a lot of dice here.
I don't physically have enough dice, so it's...
I mean, that's good.
7 base +2 for 9 base die, right? And then the stress as well. So... Yeah.
So it's your standard +2 for the full auto,
and
plus your stress dice. Yeah.
Jeez. Whoop. Dice down. Right. That's fine. I'll re-roll 2 of the blanks because I didn't have enough die. It's not wonderful. Stress die. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. I do have a success, but I also have 2 panics.
Okay. So we're not pushing that.
We're not pushing that. My die is so bad.
So give me your D6 roll. First off, give me your D6 roll for your panic to see if it cancels out your action in whatever way. And obviously add your stress to it.
It's a 6.
Okay. So we've got your 6 plus
5, so 11.
Well, no, your stress is now 6, right? Because you just rolled a panic.
Oh god, yeah. So 12. Excellent.
So 12. Okay. Well, you scream your lungs out for 1 round, losing your next slow action. Your stress level is decreased by 1.
Nice.
So it goes back down to 5. But every friendly character who hears you scream must make an immediate panic roll.
Oh my god, this is so bad. Does Huang roll the panic roll?
No. But synthetics don't roll panic.
So I will.
People go ahead and take care of that while I look up other stuff, because also there's the thing of
I got
higher results. Sorry, what is the New higher results replace. Some of these result in forced panic actions. Okay, I thought it was above a certain level that they're forced, but it doesn't seem. It doesn't say that, and it doesn't seem to be. So I'm going to say you still get your shot off. So with that, did you say you only rolled 1 success?
Yep.
What's the damage on that pulse rifle?
Oh, geez. It is
3, I think.
2 damage.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then the alien gets to roll its armor.
Great.
So that's fun.
I can't believe how bad that roll was.
It went. That seems to have gone really badly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's characterful, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's quite a shock. Okay. Yeah. You're fairly sure you hit it, and you're fairly sure your bullets pattered off its exoskeleton.
Excellent. Great.
Xian, how's that panic roll going?
I got 7, which is nervous twitch, which means my stress and everyone else's stress within range, I believe, goes up by 1.
So I get the stress rate back.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, because basically, Boya swings round, like, goes full auto. Xian, like, ugh. And I think the sight of Xian going, "Oh fuck," probably would make everyone go, "Oh shit!" Like, stuff is real bad if Xian is doing that.
Yeah.
I have a character sheet I need to send to good old Justin because he's made his choice. So bear with me but one moment, and I will do that. There we go. Justin, I wouldn't hold this guy's personal agenda too much because that's the one from the beginning of the game. But all like his equipment that he has, it's all good. Don't worry about personal agenda anyway because you're not going to get any more story points this session. So it's all fine. But let's bring on Justin because Justin, and you'll need to change your name tag, remember, is playing Sheng Fang, the Azul rogue scientist spy guy.
What are you talking about? Very legitimate state actor. That's Chen Fang.
Absolutely. We're on to Huang's action, I believe. Oh, and I guess we'll apply the stress to you then that's been going around, right? So take start out
about 4 or 5.
I think we'll start you out at 3.
Okay.
1 for your character being killed, and 1 each for the scream and the nervous twitch reactions.
Cool.
So
was my character dehydrated at any point or anything like that?
No. Just fresh start. Cool. You literally just lost a character. We won't be too harsh on you.
Okay, cool.
So Huang, what action are you taking?
I am going to, if possible, move to cover. Though I don't know what cover there is against this thing, and
Cover
then
against
shoot
the
it.
xenomorph gun?
Yes.
Yes. Sure. Like there are some tables like pushed aside, so you can definitely kind of like duck back and take aim and fire. Give me a ranged combat roll, please.
Okay.
With any bonus. Actually, that's a question. Is there meant to be a bonus on that pulse rifle? I don't think there is.
It has no bonus, I checked.
Okay, yeah.
Do I have a bonus on my pistol, Alex?
+2.
Wait.
But
so that's
1
2 extra
damage.
dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Wait, no, add another 2. Hang on, that's 1 success. 1 success.
1 success. Okay. Yep, that bullet rebounds off the creature's exoskeleton. Jian.
So I've just seen these 2 guys try and shoot it with terrible success. So I look at the pistol and I look at the knife. All right, this is how we do it. I pick up the knife, and I think I probably try and there's a chair near me, or sitting on a chair. I try and pick up the chair with the other arm and use it as as a thing to basically distract it and keep it distant from me until I want to strike.
Lion tamer style.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go for. He took my kill, god damn it. I think I'm going to take an auto. I'm going to use one of my story points to just succeed at that.
Yep. And then you can roll as well.
Sure.
Because more successes is real good on combat rolls because you can spend them for extra damage.
Sure.
And
So
trust me, you want to do as much damage to this thing as you can.
So I'm rolling 4 stress dice and 8 close. I assume it's close combat, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I'm rolling 8 regular dice, so this is quite a lot. That is 1, 2, 3 successes, and I'm debating whether I should push it. I can't push it. 2 panics.
My God. Okay, well, give me a panic roll first.
Okay. My panic roll is 6 plus 4. That's 10. And then another one.
Where would you have it? No. You only make 1 panic roll if you.
Okay, even if I got multiple panic results.
Yeah, you only make 1. So you've gone to 10, right? I believe that's freeze.
All good.
Yep. It's happened to me earlier. Yep.
Although it says lose your combat action. I don't think you're frozen by fear or stress for 1 round, losing your next slow action. It says.
Yeah.
Some of these are very ambiguous in whether they take over your immediate action.
It would make pushing kind of bad. It seems because you'd always be. You push for more successes and then get no successes effectively because you'd lose your.
It does say some of these result in forced panic actions which replace any action you are carrying out, but it doesn't actually say this is a forced action.
Steve's just linked something. If you check says the action is a camp. Says
okay, if it's 10 or higher. So we actually should have overrid the screen there, but that's fine. We didn't do it here. Okay, so instead, Jeanne is just frozen in place.
Okay.
Losing your next slow action, it says. So you can make you're frozen in place. You can make your next slow action. I guess, next turn you also lose your slow action. So
is it so? Yeah, is it that I failed to do the thing that I wanted to do, and that is the action that is being skipped, or is it that I did the thing, then I froze?
It is unclear. I think the idea is that you don't do the thing you were doing, which was a slow action.
And I'm just I look at my knife and I go, shit.
See, according to that, it technically indicates you get a fast action this round. And then lose your slow action next round, but that doesn't seem to.
Well, so the wording on this is the rules is that the action is cancelled and immediately replaced by a forced panic action.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think he loses another thing. I think it's just.
But it says losing your next slow action.
So
he's already lost. The panic reaction means he's lost the current action.
So I think two slow actions are lost in total, but fast actions are unaffected.
I think that's true as well.
Yeah.
So you would now get your fast action. So it's up to you if you want to you think to attack, but then just freeze in place in sudden terror, and now you get a fast action to do whatever you want with, I guess. You can save your fast action for blocking, says Steve.
Okay,
I'll do that without any comments. That advice with no comments.
Might not be a bad idea.
So I probably pick up my chair, and then I'm like, okay, no,
and you can use the chair for blocking and stuff. Yeah, sure. It's worth noting also that when you freeze, you and everyone around you gains a point of stress.
Cool.
Great.
So I assume I still burned the story point.
Correct. Yeah.
Ouch.
That's why it's. You know what? No, take it back. You can spend the story point after you roll.
Okay.
So you know what? We didn't. Yeah,
sure.
I think it's fair to give you it back there because you didn't do the action, right? So you didn't get the success. I think that's fair.
I'm happy.
So next up is the life form. And it is going to see if Fang just dies straight away.
Mate, if you kill me twice,
Do
I'm
it.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. It wouldn't be
okay, it's going to strike out at one of you, and it's going to do, fortunately, not its top attack, because that's,
we've seen what that does.
Yeah. Okay, yes. 10 base dice, damage 1. You didn't use a fast attack, a fast action there, did you, Alex?
I didn't. I just did my slow, so my fast is there for a block.
Okay, then you might want to roll block.
Yeah, had a feeling that was coming. Sorry, do I just roll close combat?
Correct.
And my stress
And
goes
stress.
into it?
Yeah, and stress.
That's kind of good because it's a freaking load of dice now. Right. Oh my god, so many dice. Okay, close combat. That is 6. That's crap. And my stress die, which there are now 7 of. Great. Cool. Love it. Oh, that's actually gone really well. That's 3 successes, no panic.
Okay.
I still have 2 more stress to roll. So I might panic. I may yet panic. I didn't get any successes either. So.
Nice. But 3 successes there. Cool. Yeah. The creature leaps at you from the window frame and kind of batters into you and desperately flails at you, trying to get a hold on your fatigues in its claws. And you just bring up the pulse rifle, still thudding with rounds, and kind of crack it against its head, and it reels away hissing, and is gone.
He's gone?
Out through the door, away.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I just sort of shake myself. Where did it go? We need to follow it.
You want to follow it?
Yes. That thing is the most dangerous when you lose track. That's what got Xenofia killed.
Fuck.
I haven't in the last few days, and the reason is
the thing is we have a plan and we need to execute it. We can't fuck around running around in the dark in this station, losing people one at a time. We need to get to the way station. We got a plan. Go ahead.
I'm going to start going around the room gathering up supplies.
Yeah.
Okay. You do so successfully. I would suggest as game mother that we proceed rather than role play out a debate here, because
absolutely.
Otherwise, I'm just going to bring it back. So, yeah. So what NPCs do we? Cam kind of sort of like as you're exiting the room, Huang, kind of with arms full of supplies. Cam turns to Huang and says, "You going to be okay getting back to the generator now?"
I believe so.
Let's hope it doesn't have a taste for protein bars. That was a joke.
I gathered it.
Cam has banter.
Amazing.
As a talent. I say that and I can't I didn't write down how it works. But it's okay, I can find it very quickly.
I'm guessing
Colonial
it's
Marine
like
talent.
everyone who hears the banter -1 stress.
Tension in your team with some friendly banter.
It doesn't work quite like that. But I mean, whatever. Everyone's stress drops by 2 levels.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't work quite like that. You have to spend a turn spent in a safe place. But I'll fudge it just to flash his talent out there. It's fine. He can
it's safe for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. So that's fine. I'm fudging it. As someone said in chat, you know when Matt's helping you, you're in trouble. So
you're already dead.
So Juan makes her way off back to the bunker, I think. And then we've got the 3 of you here. So what is Jean planning to do here? Like, is he like? I think let's gloss over you explaining your plan to Jean, because that's a boring thing to present, right? So Jean, you are aware of what their plan is.
I mean, it's boring as long as Jan doesn't realise who the real spy is.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not, lest we understand Jan's motive. Jan isn't a proud Bering patriot here.
No. I'm on board with burning every last one of these. I have no compunction with doing that. Yeah, I think I'm going to assuming that I believe these guys, which I think I have reason to. I don't think any of them are on my list.
Sure.
I'm a list.
Jesus Christ.
I have a list. What can I say? So I think I'm going along with the plan.
Great.
Absolutely. You you're along with them then, I guess. So let's take Juan away for now. So
is it just us 3 players and
Effin.
Cam and
Effin and Cam as well? Yeah.
Okay.
So you make your way through the darkened halls of Chirikov Station. Unnaturally silent. You're used to kind of horrible, almost constant noise in Chirikov. Who's got the highest mobility here now that Juan has left?
I have
4. We got a 4.
I have
got another
4.
4. Got a 4. We're even 4s. I'll just roll a die there. See who makes the roll. Okay, so Fang is going to make the roll. So if you can roll, which is probably the best because Fang has the lowest stress. So Fang, if you can make, if you can make the roll, help? Please. And take 2 of the base dice as well for help.
Well, then I get 2 successes.
Okay.
No stress. No panic.
Stress. Cool. So you make your way through the rest of the disused outpost chambers, through the offices, through the factory floor until you're out at the hangar, and of course the hangar bay doors are closed. It will make some noise to open them, but I guess we're taking that risk, right?
Right.
Would it be a heavy machinery roll to open them?
It would indeed be a heavy machinery roll to open them.
Fang, you know how to open these, right?
No, I don't.
Could do it.
Effin could do it.
Effin? Effin's the engineer, yeah. Effin's the best mechanic. Okay.
I don't know. I might be.
Effin he's definitely better than you. Well, I don't know. He's got heavy machinery 3. What do you have?
2.
Big arms.
Yeah.
Just
with strength 5.
Strong arms.
Oh, that's true. You do have the strength 5 rolls, though. You can make the roll if you want.
I don't.
You want to make the roll? Okay.
I don't want to.
So Effin kind of scrambles over to the pad and kind of tinkers away on it a little bit and then presses it. And with a rush of air, it grinds, the hangar doors grind open in a loud, long, protracted squeal until they crash into the housing on either side. And kind of light floods the chamber. It is daytime outside. Light floods in from Gehenna's sickly, pinkish sky. You've got a long walk ahead of you.
I want to
get out
on Gehenna's surface.
Yeah.
Is there any protective gear or anything like that? Like I know, like Dima earlier in the story mentioned some kind of respirator.
You can get. Let's say there are breathers stashed nearby
by the hangar door or something.
Yeah.
That's where they would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume I'm in my ape suit if I was able to obtain it or not.
I figure that Jiang kind of found his ape suit or dragged it off a corpse, or I forget who was wearing it. But yeah, I think Jiang kind of secured his ape suit. But let's say the others are torn apart, missing, what have you?
Acid washed.
Yes.
So right, let's get moving then. And I'm going to suggest that Cam basically, as the other Marine, take like rear guard. So like he's watching out behind us, make sure nothing sneaks up on us. So
Sure.
he's like the vanguard or the rear guard, and I'll sort of stay at the front.
Sure.
I'm going to be quite close to the back, trying to keep like myself in between FM and any sort of other person.
Sure. That seems perfectly viable. So let's cut away from these guys as they go on their little trip. And let's take a look at what's happening back at the bunker. So, Huang, arms full of rations. You're like sort of descending the steps towards where the bunker doors are open, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Give me an observation roll.
Gladly. That is 8 plus 3. Let me just click all of these d6s onto screen. And 1 success.
Okay. Then you notice the huddled shape at the foot of the stairs, curled over unnaturally over something on the ground, making horrific noises of consumption.
In front of the open doors of the bunker.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you left the doors open.
That is true. I'm going to back off distance, take one of the protein bars, and throw it away from the entrance to try and attract the creature with noise.
I think that is a reasonable thing to do. Why don't you give me a manipulation roll?
Oh,
You know what? Was that an ooh of promise?
it was a good ooh, but I'd like to hear what else you have to offer.
Mobility was the other thing I was going to suggest. You use whichever one you want.
I'm going to go for, I think, manipulation, because my talent... I don't understand how it fits thematically, but basically it means that I can use my wits instead of my empathy for manipulation rolls.
Okay.
So, having just gotten rid of all
that
those...
That kind of works for this, though, right? Because you're not thinking like the alien. You're like, where can I throw it to, get it to run after it?
So that's 11 dice. And 1 success again.
People in the chat are saying, why would you not close the doors behind you? The rationale, which I'm happy to hand wave, is that the idea was opening and closing and opening the doors would attract more attention. That's my rationale. Also, some people in the bunker are armed, so, whatever. Sorry, how many successes did you say you got?
Just the 1.
Just the 1. Okay. You kind of throw the ration bar to one side, and sort of the xenomorph flicks its head round and kind of takes a step towards snapping in that direction. As it does so, you can see that the body on the ground is the horribly mutilated form of Xiaofan, the machinery crew member who we never got a chance to really meet. So it seems good fodder. Dima, you are in the bunker. You are backed up, pressed as tightly as you can against the wall of like round the other side of the generator, kind of holding your gun tightly against your chest. Yeva and Guang are on the other side of the generator and are kind of looking around. You hear a noise as if of someone throwing a ration bar, and hear a startled hiss, and Yeva shouts, "Now!" And her and Guang step out from the side of the generator and just start unloading the magazines of their pistols at this thing. Are you going to join them in doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
Smart as well.
Then let us have some excitement with rolling some ranged combat, shall we? So I don't want to go into like full initiative rounds for this or anything, but why don't you give me a ranged combat roll yourself, and then we'll see how the other people do off the back of that sort of thing.
Okay. Am I still at 3 stress, I presume?
Yeah. Let's ratchet up your stress by 1 because you probably saw Xiaofan being killed.
Yeah, that's fair. I get 1 success.
Okay. And the damage on your thing is...
The laser, it's just 1.
It's not a laser, is it? It's a modded
welder. The Rexim RX5, RXF.
No, it's an EVA pistol, isn't it?
No, that is it. Yeah, it's a repurposed.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Well then. It actually gets lower. Does that count as fire? Because it's heat, right? I don't know. Anyway.
It's armor piercing, I can tell you that much.
Let's ask a scientist. Are lasers fire?
How does armor piercing work? Does it reduce the amount of armor, or does it just not get an armor?
So it halves the amount of armor rounding up.
Okay. Well, that's fair. So I'm just totaling up some damage other people have done here. And then we'll see how it does. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, here's the interesting bit. Okay, so and now I do, sorry, have to roll a load of dice, but I assure you it's worth it. I mean, you know, for me. Okay. The three of you kind of dodge around the side of the generator, and all of you kind of unleash fire from your weapons. Guang and Yeva with their service pistols, you with your kind of company-mandated, rebuilt sidearm thing, repurposed tool. And all your shots impact into the creature. You see a couple of sparks where some rounds bounce off the exoskeleton, but others definitely make it through. And it reels back with a hiss and kind of like rolls around briefly on the floor before dashing up the stairs. Huang, it goes kind of straight past you, and you see you kind of dodge to one. I'm assuming you're dodging to one side rather than trying to get in its way. And you know what? Do you want to get a shot off? Free shot. Do you want it?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, go for it.
There's definitely no devil's bargain there.
No, not at all. Go for it. Get a free shot off. Get a free range shot off.
My pistol is a +1, right? Or was it +2?
Potentially.
I think it was +2. If it can't remember.
0 successes.
Okay, never mind. You kind of whip out the sidearm and you know, try and fire, but the thing is off and away faster. You kind of look down as it goes, and you see like a trail of acid left behind it, dragging across the floor. And with a sickening suspicion, you turn around and look up and see one half of the bunker door falling apart as the spray of acid has washed over it and destroyed a great deal of that bunker door. It's now riddled with holes.
Okay. That is less than ideal.
I mean, I presume I see this as well.
Everyone can now see it. Guang kind of looks up at it and sort of like takes her shades and drags them off her face and says, "Oh, fuck.
We can't stay here."
The range on the dropship, it isn't too far. I don't... Can we even get to it? How many of them are there out there?
We're not sure.
This place is going to be fire in a couple of hours' time. I can try and mod the dropship. It might get us a bit closer to Bering. Or we can take off now and try our chances. But that thing's range 100 kilometers tops right now. Bering, what, 700, 800?
Could it get us to the outpost?
Along the pipeline?
Yes.
Yes.
Perhaps we should head there, meet up with the others, tell them what's gone on.
Yeva shrugs and says, I haven't got any better ideas. Or we could just fly away far enough, just set down and hope we're outside of the blast radius. I mean, it's not going to be that big.
Oh, anywhere's better than here.
The group at the outpost will expect to find us here. If we don't have a way to communicate to them that we've left, such as going to the outpost, maybe they won't do anything.
Well, they were always going to come back here to get the transport out, weren't they? So that part doesn't change?
Look, in here's not safe.
No.
Out there's not safe. I better get modding that dropship. See if we can get as far as we can.
But first, eat something.
Sure. So, let's swap over, shall we? Can you all make me survival rolls, please?
God, straight there. All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, survival is which one? Under wits?
2 successes.
This includes all our existing stress, right?
Oh yeah, every roll does.
4 plus 3 from my ape suit plus 3. I'm rolling a lot of dice. Not bad. And I get 1 success and 1 panic.
2 success, no panic.
Okay. What did you get, Justin?
2 successes.
Okay. So Zhang, can you give me a panic roll, please?
My panic roll ended up with a 6, which is keeping it together.
Great. Okay, then that's absolutely fine. But your stress obviously goes up by 1. Can someone look up stunts on survival, please, to see what that does for you?
Will do.
But I am going to suggest, if it doesn't already have it, that a reduction of stress by 1. In fact, I kind of feel like reduction of stress by 1 could maybe be a stunt on every roll.
I mean, maybe.
Like, it's gone really well.
Yes.
And that would put
exactly.
you at ease. Yeah.
The stunts are extra successes. You can give successes to other players. You can gain +1 modifications in later skill rolls relating to this, or you can, quote, impress someone.
Okay. Well, we will hold them back then, and we will reserve them for +1 successes in related things.
Did Jan get any successes?
Yes.
I got 1.
So the 5 of you are traveling across the landscape of Gehenna. You all have breathers strapped on, but it's tough going. It's bad underfoot. There are large pools of toxic fluid all around, and on the horizon there's that blur of the wilderness, the forest. You are traipsing along the pipeline, which is a great kind of off-ground structure that stretches for miles and miles and miles across the surface of Gehenna. And as you travel, you're finding other kind of disused old factories and way stations and various things are dotted around the landscape. There's a great expansion from Bering at some point decades in the past that has now mostly fallen to disuse and rust. And in fact, we have an image we can use, which I think is just labeled pipeline. And John, if you could pop that up for us.
Where did we fall on the extra successes in reducing stress?
I think I'm happy for you to use that. So you can, any extra stunts you can knock down your stress with if you like.
I don't know why I want to reduce stress. It's very useful.
In moderation. So yeah, that's kind of the landscape there. And yeah, there looks like particles in the air there, and that's basically huge flakes of rust and decaying wood and steel that are drifting off the structures overhead and landing around you as they fall apart in the toxic atmosphere of Gehenna. Ahead of you, you've been traveling for an hour or so now, and ahead of you, you see like basically what is just like a small. It doesn't look like a large little station, but there's a building structure kind of attached over the top of the pipeline and surrounded by a decaying wire link fence. Fang, this is the place.
This is the place, people.
Cam kind of like looks around, kind of pulse rifle out, and says, "Well then, sounds like it's time for you to get to work, scientist."
Then I will advance towards the structure.
Okay. The exterior of the structure has there's a doorway that's kind of mounted into the ground on the chain link fence, but that kind of just swings open. And then on the interior, there's another door that leads into the interior. Now, you have you said you had the key codes for this. That's not entirely true. What you have is a decryption device that you can use to try and hack through the keypad, hack the planet, and try and get inside. But what you're going to have to do for me first is make a contact roll.
Okay. That involves lots of dice, more dice than I have because reasons.
Good.
Then I will re-roll this die. Doesn't help me at all. And I roll my stress die, which is only 1 now because I just helped myself by reducing my stress. I'm going to push because I rolled no successes. And do I re-roll stress? Yeah, I do, don't I?
Yeah, anything that doesn't show a symbol, i.e. a success or a panic roll.
Awful, appalling, just absolutely terrible. But I do have another single die to roll. Come on. Yes, 1 success.
Nice. Okay, it takes a while, but you kind of you operate the system, and eventually the door judders and creaks and slides aside in its frame.
What can I say? Those key codes are a bit fiddly.
So you kind of Effin pokes his head inside and says, "Oh, yes, I can do this." So he turns to Fang. We just need to isolate the pipeline and then overload it, right?
Yeah.
He nods. I think I could do this.
Good.
And ducks inside.
I'll follow FM.
Sure.
Can I make an empathy roll to try to encourage Effin that he in fact can do this?
That would be a command roll.
Is it a command roll? Okay, sure. Yeah. I'll give it a go. Just because this is like in Boyer's mind, this is like a mission critical thing that has to happen, and Effin doesn't sound certain he can do it. He's saying he can do it, and it's just it's worrying basically. So that is 1 success, no panic.
Okay.
So as take him by the shoulder and just say, "You can do this."
He kind of mutely nods at you and paws at his cross again and ducks inside the pipeline way station.
Don't tell
you can hear him
what to do.
You can hear him kind of tinker away inside. Gianni, you kind of standing over him, kind of helping him with it. Sure.
FM, you shouldn't allow people like that to tell you what to do.
I didn't tell him what to do. I said you told him what he could do.
I'd watch that one, Boyer.
Effin says, "Oh, it's okay. He's all right."
So long as you say so.
So outside, Cam is kind of walking a long pace outside, and after a few minutes, kind of Effin still work. He said it'll take him some time to do. It's a 20-minute, half an hour job. He just kind of goes, "Makarov."
Cam.
Those structures up there.
What structures?
He kind of points at one of those large, kind of towering structures overhead, full of rusting, decaying gantryways.
Yeah.
Up there, where all the girders meet in the center. What material is that?
Can I make an observation roll?
You absolutely can.
See what he's seeing.
Am I here for this, or?
No, you stood a bit away. He's just talking to Max.
Cool.
4. Oof. Okay. It could be worse. It could be worse. It's fine.
I'll be saying to F him like, so this Fang fellow.
1 success, no panic.
Kill Pierre again.
Okay. The structure appears a bit more robust than some of the others around it, and it appears to be being held up in the center of the girder by an odd, semi-translucent, slick material you've never seen before.
I just say to Cam, what the hell is that? What do you think that is?
I think it's a hive.
A hive?
They live in hives.
Cam, now would be a really good time to tell me what you actually know about these things.
We were meant to observe them.
Well,
they were released intentionally. See how they adapted to Gehenna's ecosystem.
pretty fucking well, apparently. Who released them?
Bering.
Just Bering, the whole... great. But they're going to get back to Bering eventually. What's the plan here?
I don't know. Don't question orders, right?
Yeah, I think that rule may have gone out the window, Cam.
How's the kid doing?
We can go check.
You turn around and kind of stride back. Jean and Efim kind of walk out of the way station, and Efim goes, "It's nearly done. I just, there's only a limited amount of time I can put on this thing. Like, what rate do we want the fuel to build up? How long do we want? It took us, an hour and a half to get out here?
We want quite a bit to build up.
Yeah, it's not a question of how much fuel, though, right? It's a question of how much time before there's enough fuel for it to... It's a question of how long we want to wait, not how much fuel.
I could... is there like a roll I can make to work that out?
Yeah, I think so. If you make a... it's just going to be observation, I think. Yeah, an observation roll.
I'm a scientist, so I can do this.
Some scientist.
High P,
I roll
low V.
2 successes.
Okay. Well, I mean, what you asked me the question of what do you want here? What's your priority?
Well, given that I don't know there is a hive, my priority is deal with the stuff down at the station.
Mm-hmm.
Which would mean building up enough fuel to be 110% sure that it's going to be dealt with.
Absolutely.
Sure. I want to turn to Cam and sort of say, quietly for the moment, just, Cam, how many do you think would be in a hive?
He turns back to you and says, They never told us too much, but from the stuff that was released, that we got from the United Americas, I mean, hundreds, thousands.
All right. I'm going to share the hive information with Xiang and Fang, and I'm basically boys going to say, look, we're talking about burning out 2, maybe 3, and there are thousands out there potentially. We just need to clear that base, that station, and get in the transport. We're not going to achieve anything impactful by it's not that's not all there is, not even close. We just need to burn it out as quickly as possible and get out of here as quickly as possible.
Don't.
Well, I admire your
Effin,
optimism.
is there a way of building up the fuel here and releasing it here so that it explodes?
Yes.
Enough to destroy that thing, whatever that is.
I mean, you'd get some backwash into the station as well, but yes, technically.
That's Boria. How many? Thousands?
At least hundreds, from what Cam's been told.
If there are hundreds of them within an hour of where we're of the station, we can deal with the two at the station, but what are we going to do for the next 5 days?
Yeah, exactly.
This is the priority. Damn the station.
Agreed. If we can take out the hive, that's what we need to do. But can you produce a large enough explosion to take that out up there?
Evan kind of looks around and kind of, yeah, I can ratchet up the pressure as high as it can go, and it'll come out both ends. But we better get away from here before it does.
Sounds like a plan.
We won't have long.
Can you show me how to do it, Effin? If I go back, I'm dead anyway.
He shrugs and says, I mean, if I was showing you, I might as well do it.
I take Effin aside. Effin, you don't have to do this.
He kind of looks up at you and blinks and says, it's okay, Jan. It's God's work.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, Effin. And I take off my cap and I go, here, have this. And I put it on him.
He kind of blinks and looks at it and says, oh, thanks. I'd start moving. If I was you, I have no idea how long it'll take before the pressure builds up. And I'll try and follow you if I can.
We'll see you on the other side.
He nods and gives a kind of weak smile and ducks back into the way station.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's cut back to Chirikov Station. Okay. We're in the hangar. Guang is in the dropship. Dima, Huang, and Yeva are stood just outside the dropship, presumably. Yeva just yelled that there was motion in the processing facility.
Right. The work carried out on the dropship, is it anything I can assist with or speed things up with? Or
I mean, potentially, yeah. Do you want to make a heavy machinery roll?
I can try, yeah. I'm not great with that, but
Guang has been heaving systems off the ship to try and get it lighter, and also she said she needs to reconfigure the fuel lines. It's a hand wave the technology. Lots of fuel lines in this game.
Stress level 4.
I mean, I don't think you felt safe, so I'd say yes, it remains at 4.
And do I get any penalties for only having one arm?
No, let's say no.
Okay. 1 success, no panic.
Okay. She's desperately trying to kind of basically reconfigure how the fuel moves through the system and trying to do this on the fly while not losing the fuel that's in the system. And you manage to kind of kneel down by her as she's kind of moving, looking around the undercarriage of this thing and trying to rework it, essentially to try and modernize the way the fuel's injected into the engine. But you don't know really if it's working, but it's an effort that has to be made. Huang?
Is there any system reprogramming that's needed?
No.
Or is it all mechanical?
It's all mechanical.
In that case, I will assist with keeping a lookout.
Okay. And as you do so, you kind of turn around. You ask that question. I think that's fair, right? Is there any kind of... and as you're turning back, you hear Yeva start to fire.
Right. I I go to Yeva. I say to those two, get in the ship and prepare for takeoff, and I head to Yeva.
Okay. Guang kind of scrambles out from underneath, says something along the lines of, don't have to tell me twice, scrambles into the ship desperately, and you hear the engines start to spin up into a cacophonous roar behind you. Dima, what are you doing?
I would go to the entrance of the ship and sort of get ready to get in, but get my gun out and try and sort of guard anybody as they come up the ramp.
Sure. Huang, what are you? You said you were turning to Yeva. What are you doing?
If she is within, like, fairly close, I'm going to say, retreat now.
Yeva kind of looks at. She's firing desperately. Everyone can now perceive shapes moving amongst the factory floor, scampering around, and the occasional kind of hissing scream erupting from there. They seem to be kind of, being somewhat cautious about it. But you can see from here, there's so many, and it's odd because you've done like kind of you've tried to work out how these things reproduce. There are too many here for this to be kind of the ones that burst out of Nona and the unfortunate special forces officer. They've come here from somewhere. And as you're observing, you can see an odd, slick, translucent residue covering several of the presses that you didn't notice, kind of because it was dark when you were coming through, and now you have this light. Yeva kind of looks over her shoulder at you, gives a kind of wry smile, and says, "Is that a direct order from the Union of Progressive Peoples, madam?"
It is. I can't leave you here.
She kind of takes a couple of steps back and says, "Well, all right then," like hoists her medical kit onto her shoulder and leaps into the dropship. They're bursting out of the presses now. There are too many of them to counter, and they're all coming directly for the dropship door. Huang, what are you doing?
I'm jumping into the dropship and opening fire.
Okay. They are definitely going to reach the dropship door, just so you know, and Dima is still at the door.
I would be ducking inside as soon as I could and shutting the door when we're all in.
Okay. Dima leaps in. Huang, can you make me a mobility roll, please?
Yes. That is 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 1 success.
Okay. Well, that's 1 success more than the xenomorphs. So you managed to get into the doorway. Are you spinning around and firing?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you. Just make me a ranged combat roll. We're not going to work out damage because, there's a whole horde of them.
Yeah, I'm more trying to slow it down than actually do any kind of... Do no successes.
Okay. You're just firing wildly into this horde. This is not what you were programmed for. You feel the thrum of the dropship engines as it lifts up off the ground. Yeva is behind you, also kind of trying to fire around you. And as it lifts off into the air, you feel an iron grip wrap around your ankle and start to drag you out of the dropship. Can you give me a opposed close combat roll, please?
I don't want to, but yes. 1 success.
Okay. You are now basically down, kind of balanced on your hips out of the dropship door as it starts to gain speed and kind of rocket off into Gehenna's skies. One of the things is clutching onto your leg and is kind of slowly trying to clamber up, its claws kind of piercing your flesh. You can feel like your cooling fluid start to run down your legs. Dima, what are you doing?
I'm going to yell for Yeva because I've got one hand. I can't drag Huang back in, but I will start shooting. Try to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you give me a ranged combat roll, please? And
Okay.
Yeva will make a roll for her stamina, I guess.
Is this stressful, by the way?
Oh yeah, everything's straight. Yeah.
Shall I add a point on?
Yeah, go. Is this situation stressful?
Seeing this particular.
No, I don't think so. Well, it is, but not according to the rules. You know what I mean?
Okay. I get 2 successes, but 1 face hugger. So that's going to be a panic roll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the panic. So that's a total of 5 on panic. So I think I'm okay.
You're all right. Okay, and you got the 2 successes.
Yeah.
I will roll the thing's armor.
It's armor piercing.
So it's half armor, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. The laser that your pistol fires lances through the thing slightly, and it's now like leaking a trail of translucent fluid that's kind of flying down off the kind of off the dropship and out into the air, but it's still holding on with a deathly grip. Yeva has her kind of arms around your upper body, Huang, and is kind of heaving, and he's definitely holding it like a counterbalance somehow. She's got both kind of legs pinioned against either side of the exits of the dropship, and is kind of heaving back and somehow managing to match strength with this thing. She kind of just turns to you slightly and says, "You don't need that leg, do you?"
Not immediately.
She whips one arm over and just fires off her entire magazine into your leg above where it's gripping onto you, with a horrible stretching, tearing feeling, all like your fluid transfer tubes and synth flesh come tearing away, and the creature cries out in frustrated rage as it spins off down through Gehenna's atmosphere, still clutching onto what's left of your leg. Yeva heaves you in, and Dima, do you want to close that door?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Kind of slams the door into place, and Yeva is just kind of like collapsed onto the dropship floor, panting in desperation. Okay. We'll switch over again. Can you give me a stamina roll, please? Any of you who made a stunt on the last stamina roll can add an automatic success onto this.
By the last stamina roll, do you mean the survival one? Or
Was it a survival one? I thought it was a stamina one to travel.
Oh, you said survival last time.
Did I say survival? Oh, okay. Yeah, make it stamina this time, though, because you're more concerned with moving fast than you are. But I'll go ahead and add another success onto it. I think that's cool.
5, 6, 7. So I did roll an extra success. So
what is the stamina roll again? Is it just?
It's stamina. It's a skill.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to spot it.
Stamina.
Got it.
I got 1 success and a panic, and I will roll that panic.
I got 1 success and still no panics in this game.
I got 7, which is a nervous twitch.
Okay, that's fine. That just ratchets everyone's stress up by 1, right? But after all these rolls.
Yep.
Did you say I add 1 automatic success from the stunting previously?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, in that case, I have 2 successes, but I did roll a panic.
Okay.
So
we get an extra success from before.
if you stunted.
If you stunted before. On the survival roll.
I think I used my stunt to reduce stress, so never mind.
Oh yeah, we did do that to reduce stress. Sorry, didn't
I
we?
did, but maybe not everyone did.
I don't know. 1 success then and a panic. And I got a 3, which is in addition to 4, so that's 7.
Oh, 7. In that case, that's also a nervous twitch. So I think that means everyone's stress goes up by 2.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that
2 in addition to the other one, or?
What do you mean in addition? Oh, yeah, in addition to the 1 you gain from rolling panic, yes.
No, but from Jan, didn't Jan get us to go up one as well?
That's why it's
Yes.
2, not 1.
That's why it's 2. That's why it's like in addition to. So it's 2 overall. Cool.
Yes. Yes, everyone's goes up by... Well, no, that's not... Okay, Fangs goes up by 2. Boria and Jiang go up by 3 because they also roll a stress.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Essentially, you're kind of trying to bound across the landscape, but you're all keeping going. But Boria and Jiang are starting to definitely feel it. They're kind of panting and they keep having to stop, and that is ratcheting it up the tension somewhat. Cam kind of comes to a halt and spins and turns back and says, "Holy Christ." People turning and looking?
Share with the class. Yeah, like I'm turning around.
Probably
Okay.
yes, unfortunately.
Coming from the vast megastructures strung across Gehenna, from the blackness of the forest on the horizon, is a wave of dark forms, like a migration, like something from Earth's past when it still had enough creatures to move over the surface of the planet in great swarms.
What's the distance like?
A couple of kilometers.
Do we gain stress?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I'm going to need more dice next time I do this.
Cam kind of turns back round and says, "Do you think he had time to..." Everything goes white. The entire pipeline has erupted. There is a blinding flash and a roaring, like you are deafened, you are blinded for at least 5 to 10 seconds. And when you blink and start to come to, you can see a wave of fire across from horizon to horizon as far as you can see, which doesn't seem to be kind of moving very far. It's fairly contained. And off in the distance to the west, you can see like a volcano erupting, a huge burst, a mushroom cloud of flame in the air, as what remains of Chirikov Station is detonated to absolute oblivion.
Well, everyone has a day to die.
Now would be a
Shoot
real
you
good
on the
time
back
for.
of
I was going to say now would be a real good time for transportation plan B, folks.
Across the line of fire, that's maybe a kilometer away from you, dark forms start to kind of roll through it, and lots of them sort of thrash around in pain and flames and then collapse on the ground. But a few of them slowly start to scramble back up to their feet and start to race. You don't get the impression they're racing towards you specifically. They are just moving en masse south and east in the direction of Bering. Cam shoulders his rifle, brings it up to aim and says, "All right, I guess we empty our magazines out here."
Wait, don't shoot yet. We don't know what they're going to... Like, they're not coming straight for us.
They're not, but you are absolutely in their path and you have zero chance of getting out of their way before they swarm over you.
Okay, right. I thought we might be able to slip to the side.
No. They
pull
are
out my
almost
knife.
horizon to horizon.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
great.
there aren't,
Cool.
there aren't thousands coming for you. There are millions coming for you.
Right,
not
Cam,
for you.
your estimate was a little off, buddy.
But to be fair, you asked him about that hive.
Yes. He might have disclosed the 100 other hives.
He didn't know about the 100 other hives.
Well, what good are you, Cam? God.
Can I carry over my story point from my previous character?
No,
But Fang would have got his own story points.
he maybe, but he wasn't. Being, no, Justin, stop it.
What the frick? This is the worst. This is the most bullshit that anyone has had to put up with in the world.
It absolutely is, and I'm sorry for trying to make a climactic game at the end of this.
Yes. Your commiseration prizes in the post.
Yes.
Bullshit.
As you ready your weapons, Cam kind of takes aim and starts to squeeze down on the trigger, and then over the sound of the raging flames, a dull, more mechanical roar makes it out, and overhead, the dropship.
Yes.
Circling to come down. It descends slowly, far too slowly for your raging nerves, but it touches down. The creatures are another 600, 700 meters away. You scramble aboard. The door closes behind you, and you lift off. Obviously the other characters who made it off in the dropship, they're with you. And as you lift off into the air, Guang says, "Oh my God, you have to see this." All of you crowd into the front of the cockpit, and below you, an endless sea of slightly translucent black creatures is swarming as far as you can see from even this high up in the air over the surface of Gehenna. That's the end of the story.
Wow.
Cool.
Sorry I didn't give you the story point to use there. Just
I thought we were firing. You know, I wanted my success.
I had two saved up, but I was ready for a big
Again,
go out with
and
a
I
bang.
put it out there. The only character to die. Every game, every single time, every single time we do it.
It is true, and in all brutal honesty, every single time. No, it's happened 3 times. I think that it's really happened.
No, it's way
obviously.
more than 3 times.
No, it is 3 times. It's definitely 3 times. And this time and the last time was literally entirely by chance. It was literally just roll which character gets attacked, they get attacked.
You can't use that excuse.
The first time, and we will close off this stream in a second, but the first time I would hasten to add is because Justin's character chose to give the kiss of life to a zombie.
There's so much more to this story. There's so much more to this story.
It is a great story, and it will come out another time. For now, okay. If you have remained on for this long, thank you so much. If you've got any questions or comments you want to sling our way, pop them into the chat, and let's say Steve will pull them out and pop them on screen for us to answer for you. In the meantime, a few things for me to say before we get into that. Thank you to everyone who's been involved with this. Thank you to the players here who've been great. Thank you especially to Steve and John, who've come up with so much of the images and the videos and the material that we've used for this. It's been fantastic. Thank you to Chris, who through no fault of his own had done a load of work to be the stream manager for this, and unfortunately his laptop exploded while we were prepping for it. So thanks to Chris as well. Thanks to all of you who've watched this. If you've made it all the way through it, extra special thank you. We've got promo. We've got links down below. We've got links to our social media, which is usually Tales RP. We've got link to our YouTube, where our VODs go up. This will also end up there in the not too distant future. And we've got a Patreon. Should you wish to support us, it would be most appreciated. We run 2 other regular series weekly. We run Simbaroom on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock GMT, which is pretty good. We run Vampire 5th Edition, which is
fantastic.
On Tuesday night, fantastic, 8 o'clock GMT again. And we're going to be running monthly one-offs like this. That's the intention. I believe on the intention is the first Saturday of every month. We're running one-offs, and they'll mostly be completely different systems each and every time, right? So come along and watch those if you are interested in seeing us playing lots of different games. So yeah. That's all my promo. God, it's so much promo. We go.
Matt.
But yeah, all these things that are coming up, they're all wonderful compliments. Thank you for them. We don't need to respond to them individually, but thank you, Shell, thank you, Brad. Was that? I also want to thank some people who have followed us while this has been going on. Thank you to Feral Serpent, Angir, Murph, Ideologic Data, Raz, Twomerator. That's a lot of followers for us because we're not that popular. So, yes, thank you for that.
Now,
was that another thing popped up? Sorry that I missed.
Yeah, hopefully the laptop explosion took out a few hives. Was the
Yeah, that would be
I liked that one. Yeah,
That's good.
That would be a good thing. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Hopefully you viewers enjoyed it. We'll give it a couple more seconds to see if anyone else has any questions or comments, and then we'll wave goodbye. Because my word, this has run on longer than we thought, by the tune of about an hour.
I'm resigning from the channel because this is getting ridiculous.
To be fair, it's not been on none of it's been on the channel before, has it? It's all been offline.
No, one of them, first one, was on a previous.
Yeah, it was on
long before
podcast.
times.
Oh, was that? Oh, yeah, the end of the world
Yeah.
thing. That was on the channel, on the old channel, wasn't it? Yeah, on ATCP Gaming. Check it out.
Look.
Mostly shuttered.
Justin, you can't say like if the alien didn't get you, Jan was coming for you.
I did nothing wrong to Jan. I literally did nothing wrong to Jan.
Look,
Look,
you looked at me wrong.
His character brief
There
had
was
a
no way
list
you were
of
making it
names
out.
and yours was on it.
I did nothing wrong. Ridiculous.
At the top. At the
I can't just put it
very
out
top.
there.
Like, I think
But
it is.
she's not been fired, and therefore 3 story points. That's
Exactly.
that's what I'm reading in this right now.
Can I just say, like, one thing I think this game has gotten right. I think there's some shifts I've made in this game. I think I've tweaked the stress slightly, so it's not quite as easy to ratchet it up so much so quickly. But one of the things it definitely does really well is, oh my word, those xenomorphs are really very, very dangerous.
Yep.
Unbelievably so. It's crazy.
I got one shot off and it ricocheted off the armor. Like I was like, oh, I'm going to get loads of pulse rifling in. Nope.
Nope.
They can be quite squishy though. If you are lucky, you can take them out. Like we have found that in previous games.
Yeah. They are takeoutable, certainly.
Combat's just pretty brutal.
At least one was, right? One of them got killed, right?
Mhm.
No?
Didn't
Yes.
Kozlov
Yeah, it
get
did. The first
Kozlov
yeah.
shotgunned one, yeah.
Shotguns are real good. Ooh, there is a question in the chat. What was Jan's deal?
What was
As far as I can tell you, it's
Yeah.
just
Ultimately,
psychotic.
Jan's just a psycho. He just pissed him off. Diego just pissed him off.
I made up that entire thing about Diego being an agent, and it was glorious.
Yeah.
It was also
have to
great
admit,
that we actually had
did
an
you-
agent.
Did you think
I definitely written him more as a kind of brutish, thuggish, raging psychopath. But Pierre definitely played him more like Hannibal Lecter. So,
Yeah.
I had a fucking question.
Oh yeah, players, ask me questions about anything you want in the background of this, because maybe we'll revisit the characters again one day and the situation on Gehenna, but we're not going to revisit that situation, right? So go ahead.
Was Jan just responding to my character's jokes about corruption, or did you have an idea that the character was corrupt?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Because Jan
yeah.
kept being like, "Oh, what about when I say things about you?" Like, kind of things. What was that about?
That was
that just
a
improv?
desperate attempt. I was scrabbling around for reasons to let me out of this cage.
There are
the second that I was
Sorry, you finish.
well, the second I was out, bad things were going to happen. But I never encountered you, so
There were loads of story hooks in the character briefs handed out that never even got touched. Never even remotely touched.
it was lovely.
If we had a bit more time, I think we would have done them. But
Yeah, I had a
absolutely.
few things that I was at least going to try to make sure I did, but yeah, it's like there was so much going on, just trying not to die.
Absolutely. And even for like one of my one-offs, that was short because they usually run about 8 hours or something. But
I mean, one-offs that don't last 2 or 3 sessions are always rare for anyone.
it's true.
We packed a lot in, I think. That was
We did.
That was very efficient.
And on that note, I'm going to curl up into a tiny screaming ball now. Not just because that's.
Me too.
I mean, what else?
That's
have
just
we
show
got?
you how you
Saturday night?
It's Saturday night. Like
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Pizza and screaming ball. So thank you so much for watching, people. Whether you did it here live or whether you did it later on Twitch or even later than that on YouTube, we really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves out there. Stay safe. I will keep my players on for a brief debrief. Not like that. But we'll see the rest of you on the channel another time. Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.